Ryan's a clapper.
It just helps mark the audio.
In this age of digital technology, we're clapping.
We're clapping.
That's it, right?
This is how we do it.
That's our innovation.
I love it.
Yeah, I guess. We ready to roll?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm doing phenomenal. How are you?
I am doing well. So do us in the audience a favor and introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Mike Wynn. I'm the Innovations Executive for Bank of America and the Academy.
And
Innovations Executive.
That's awesome. What
does that mean?
Yeah.
That's actually the short title.
Oh, boy, give us the long title.
Oh, no, yeah. You can't
give
do
us the
that.
whole thing. We didn't come here.
You got to give us a long title.
Content.
Come on now.
There you go. So I'm the Enterprise Learning Technology and AI Capabilities Executive for the Academy.
The short answer is probably much easier.
Exactly. Wow.
We got to get an acronym in there.
100%.
Like, what's the acronym? Do you know what the acronym is?
No, I don't. Probably something weird.
I'm the AGCTBO1.
There you go.
Sound like R2D2. So we can get into ChatGPT and say, make this formal name something cool and catchy, and then just change it to that.
We will do that by the end of the show.
100%. 100%.
Love it.
I think he's already done that.
Yeah, of course. So, and you're at Bank of America?
I am. Been there for 20 years.
Wow.
Well, I have been a Bank of America customer since 91.
Wow.
We appreciate you.
We are a Bank of America customer.
We work defined as a business, is a bank. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. Can't imagine anything different. So let's go. Now that we know what you do now, that's the endpoint or the endpoint for right now.
We know the title.
Yeah, that's a good point. We'll get back into that. When you were in high school and maybe even in college, what was your dream? What did you want to do?
I thought I was going to be a doctor one day. That's what I was going for.
Oh, boy. Oh, okay.
That took a turn of events.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then you saw blood.
No, I have no problem with blood whatsoever, to be honest with you. What I saw was the overnight schedule to get to that point to where I wanted to get to. And I was like, I do not want to work that crazy hard.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, you were almost going to have to sacrifice a good portion of your life
about 13 years
to get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was, honestly, I was just afraid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and again, some people have really great experiences with it, residencies and things like that. They'll go in and in some, it's 3 years of hell.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's kind of by the draw. It's kind of by the hospital. It's kind of by a lot of different things. And you can't control that.
Yeah. Well, it's best that you figured it out before.
Definitely.
You've got 6 years
100%.
in.
Good
right?
call.
And then said, yeah, not for me.
Would have been horrible at the operating table. Like, you know what? It's time for
Would you have been, what if specialty would you have?
Surgery for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't have the steady enough hands. Yeah.
Well, at this point, I think robotics are doing it anyway.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
You're prompting the robot to do the bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Okay. Now your undergraduate was in what?
Business administration.
BS and business, and any particular flavor of business that you liked?
At that time, no. I honestly didn't know what direction I was going to go into, and I was
marketing, finance, accounting.
I was working in retail. So I was working for a company that no longer exists, Circuit City.
Oh, totally know Circuit City.
City.
They were awesome.
Mm-hmm. I loved working at Circuit City.
Oh,
fun fact: Circuit City was the first. That's where I first learned about debt. I bought a car stereo from Circuit City and had them do the installation. And I put it on a credit card that I got from Circuit City. That's when I learned, don't do that shit.
I remember when we would have trainings on teaching people how to offer that credit card.
100%.
Thank you.
100%.
It's his fault. I mean, the system was bumping. I'm not going to lie. But it wasn't worth it then.
Oh, yeah.
What was the difference between Circuit City and Best Buy of today?
I mean, Circuit City was the OG, is what I would say.
Right.
And it was more designed to teach people about electronics.
Kind of like a Radio Shack.
Exactly.
But
consult.
Better.
And then Best Buy came, and Best Buy was fun. It was just like, oh my gosh, it's so bright in here. They have so much stuff.
Stereos are right up there at the front.
Circuit City was dark.
Yes.
You walk in and had that nice,
just
dark.
Mood.
Yeah.
There's actually a store in Dallas, not a Circuit City store, but it's called Micro Center.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like Circuit City used to be. You walk in and you got gaming laptops and all the or like it's a DIY
Right.
type of bit. And when you talk to an associate, you're talking to an expert. You're not talking to somebody that doesn't know how to do things. You're talking to an expert. So I remember that part of Circuit City. I remember that.
I think experts became overrated and they just weren't needed at some point, especially once the internet became the internet.
Ubiquitous.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
Yeah, and a lot of, I've always felt, now, when I went to Circuit City, I remember there's this number of situations specific I can remember going in and being told something from the Circuit City salesperson on the floor, and I felt like I knew it better. And it annoyed me. But when I went to Best Buy, the Geek Squad, I counted on the Geek Squad. I went into Best Buy and I said, no, I'm going to go ask the Geek Squad what I need to do here. And I trusted them more. And it was always a thing. It could have been the way it was marketed. I don't know. It was maybe the vans they used to drive around with the Geek Squad on it in the neighborhood. But
they were just new and different.
Yeah.
And it just felt modern.
I think you nailed it. They were fun. Yeah. When you came in and, I mean, you heard music from not the parking lot, but from the front door. Yeah. It's going.
Right. Yeah. And Circuit City was professional.
Yeah.
And that it was just antiquated.
Yeah.
Well, I live in Dallas, Fort Worth. And so I have Radio Shacks there. It was in Fort Worth. So all the engineers that I know, that was their store. Like they could go get the things that they wanted and just not talk to people, whatever. So I get it. So what'd you do after Circuit City?
After Circuit City, I went to Bank of America. And
boom.
And he never left.
Oh my God.
I clearly never left. I mean, what wound up happening is there was someone who worked in the same store as me who went to the bank and they recruited me. Because I've never even considered being in a bank. I didn't think I had what it took to be a bank manager or anything like that.
Right. So tell us the progression. Did you go cashier?
No, so I started out as a banking center manager in North Miami Beach.
Okay.
And it was easier than I thought it was going to be because I thought being a bank manager was like this big, unbelievable thing.
Wall Street banker type.
Yeah.
And you needed 50 years of experience so that people could trust you.
Not so much.
Really, you just needed someone who was going to lead a team at the end of the day. And that's what I was really good at. And I had a lot of fun doing it. And so I started out as a financial center manager. And what was interesting for me is the bank at that time had a program to train managers, and it was a good 18 or so weeks long. I mean, it was an amazing training, to be honest with you. Classroom sessions, virtual, you name it. And I was super jazzed going through the training. I thought it was everything I needed to learn. I was like all-star student. I was like answering questions. I was doing all the things. As soon as I got the keys to the financial center and I walked in, deer in the headlights. I was like, what is going on? None of this was in the materials. And that's what ultimately led me down the path to try to figure out how I could fix learning.
Sync the two experiences. Here's what happens out here. Here's what we're teaching.
Yeah. Because I didn't understand why we could get it so wrong.
Right.
From a training perspective to real life.
Yeah.
And so it was a matter of, do I just complain about it and keep on moving, or am I going to be a part of the solution?
Right.
And so I decided I was going to work towards fixing it.
Now, did Bank of America, whoever was running learning at that point, did they see this as getting it wrong? Or I
don't think so.
No.
And I think it wasn't even a Bank of America issue as I think it was learning.
Right.
Just had not evolved.
Training and development.
It turned into check the box exercises. This is how we do things.
Yeah.
And so we're just going to keep on doing it.
Right. It's worked in the past, or so we think. Was that disconnect just for the store managers or the bank managers, or was that, do you feel like that was?
I think it was everything. I think, and not to say that there wasn't training that was actually well done, because it wasn't that there wasn't good training. It wasn't real enough for me to feel comfortable when it was time to go live.
Well, it's like you said, the training was great. It just wasn't for...
Yeah, the experience was great.
Yeah.
But it didn't translate to real world. So around what year was this?
Oh my gosh. Well, 20 years ago. So
okay. So
05-ish.
2005.
Yeah.
Where is it? How has it evolved from then until now? Big picture. Let's go macro, and then we'll come back.
Yeah, because how do you keep in touch with what they need?
How do I keep my job, basically, is that question.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, let's do that.
I mean, essentially, it came down to incorporating practice into learning, which is, I think, the biggest piece that was missing before is, all right, you're telling me what to do, you're showing me, and I'm reading it, but how can I practice this before I actually have to do this in front of a client? And so that's what we've been incorporating over the last several years as a part of the program.
And that's scenarios, situations, VR, experiential,
immersive, AI, you name it. Anything that gets them to actually practice, we are doing.
Adopt it.
Mm-hmm. And that can be done with conflict resolution. With topically, you can go across the spectrum.
Absolutely. And before, and this is where I mentioned learning hasn't evolved enough, we would rely on some of those things like role plays and things of that nature, which are super effective if done well.
Right.
Again, if done well.
If done well.
But scaling those types of things is very difficult to do.
Right.
I always felt, I mean, I haven't been very many places in terms of corporate, but enterprise rent-a-car was my first stop. And this is back in like 2000, 99, 2000 timeframe. We had to do role plays. And that's how you got promoted from starting in a branch to an assistant to a manager. And it was awful. And depending on who you did your role play with, you either did well or you did really poor.
Right.
Because you might be really difficult to do a role play with.
Right.
He might be more fun than you. And I would excel more at that, but it was never standard. And their take on that, and their take on that was, well, role playing or real world is never standard. Okay, but I wasn't trained this way.
Right.
Right. So my learning in the branch didn't translate to those role plays. And you would get stuck in this position. It was almost like it was done intentionally. And you were stuck in this limbo of like assistant manager to a branch manager because there was no open roles and they just didn't want to promote you because you didn't do good in the role play. What we talked about this earlier today. Last year we did a VR role play here. Well, this was at
is in
Orlando. Were you at the one last year or was it the year before?
No, it was last year.
This is my first.
Okay. And we did VR headset and he went through grocery. I went through a customer service role play. Fantastic. I thought it was fantastic. Or how are you leveraging VR now? Or are you?
No, we are. We actually have been doing VR now for the last close to 4 years. We've got a little bit over 4,000 VR headsets deployed across the enterprise. Every financial center has a VR headset. Most of our contact center spaces do. And we started to look at our Merrill Lynch and wealth management spaces for VR.
Right.
I mean, what the technology is doing, kind of similar to what you're talking about with the role plays when doing them for real, the variability that is created in real role plays is unbelievable because it's only as good as the person you're doing it with. And who is to say that everybody that's doing a role play with you is great?
Right.
And the feedback that they're giving you is spot on.
Right.
If they weren't trained properly.
Exactly. Or they're just not comfortable with it because it's not a comfortable situation. Like, hey, let's fake talk about something. And so it's not ideal.
It's biased in the sense of creative people that are like in drama, theater, come up through humanities. They love that stuff.
Exactly.
So, and they're
should do a role play.
They'll thrive there. Like, I'm just like, when you said that, it triggered me because I'm like, I love to fake talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be fun.
You can do that a lot. We just needed to do a camera frame test today. And he's having a whole, and so we're sitting here talking to, actually we're talking about you, how we missed your,
seriously.
And he worked out an entire like story.
I can do it. But there's a bias, a bias there.
There is.
That for creative people would probably be okay. But for people that aren't creative, we've just alienated a whole group of people.
Absolutely. So in VR, we can put somebody in a scenario and then make them feel the emotion of that moment.
Right. That's right.
And that's the goal of learning. We want you to feel.
So you've lived in the time where CFOs used to say, if we train them and they leave, so if we train them, we'll waste all this money training them and then they'll get another job somewhere else. And, the counter to that was if we don't train them and they stay.
Right.
Right. But you've lived through that arc. We're on the other side of that arc, I believe, where most people are like, we got to train them. I mean, it doesn't matter whether or not we keep them or not. We'll figure that out. But we have to train people. Do you still get any types of questions about the return on training, or how do we know that we've met our goal?
I mean, listen, anytime I talk to my tech teams or my finance partners and want to do some new innovation, the first thing they ask me is, why should we do this?
100%.
So there's no question that ROI always comes into the equation.
Right.
And I think if you have to have the right story to tell at the end of the day, because if we talk about VR as an example, VR is not the cheapest thing to deploy, especially in a large enterprise.
Right.
And so the question becomes, well, why do you want to do this? And the ROI is our people want to learn differently. They want to be able to experience things, and this is going to help them do that. Yeah. Whereas if we look at traditional training today, how much are we spending on an annual basis on traditional training?
Right.
Most people cannot answer the question because we don't even look at it. We just do it.
We just do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's because we've always done it.
Right.
There's if somebody can show me the ROI on traditional training, I'll show them the ROI on the innovative stuff.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. I think it's also one of those bits that the audience is also changing. So our customers of Bank of America, they're changing. They want something different. They want a different experience from us, whether or not that's online or offline, et cetera. They want a different experience. So we've got to be ahead, at least where they are. Yeah. But in a lot of cases, we got to be ahead of where they are.
Absolutely.
And so that takes training, because it's not the same, I'd say, branch experience that it was just 10 years ago.
Right.
It's just completely different.
A lot of people that will listen to this show or be interested in learning, obviously, is using the innovation, VR, things like this. How much of that is optics versus to be the cool company doing the cool training versus an adoption, because you believe that the employee really will adopt the learning practice this way, as opposed to we just have to do training?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, training is going to happen. Right? I mean, there's no running away from it as much as we would love to. And so the only question becomes, how is it going to be done and what's the best way to do it?
Right.
And the reality is there is no one specific way.
Right.
You have to have various modalities because people learn differently.
Yeah.
And the more variety you have, the more it's going to resonate, because one of the biggest problems with learning as it hasn't evolved is the fact that we've done it the same way every time. So people don't want to do it.
Let's get in a classroom.
Nobody eats the same food every minute, every day.
Right.
Because you would get sick of it. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what's happening with learning?
Right.
Here's a web-based training. Here's a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a PDF, which is, and again, learning styles. Yeah. As you mentioned, everyone's has a different type of learning styles. Those learning styles are not static. Sometimes they change through life, but I've seen a rise in learning differences.
Right.
So, and some of that's probably what used to be undiagnosed is now being diagnosed. That's like dyslexia and these types of things, which again, as a business, you've got to have that data. You've got to understand how they want to learn. Do they want to learn on their phone? Do they want to on a desktop? Like, how do they want to learn? And also, because you can do you can put forth all the classes and training, but it comes down to consumption.
Right.
Right. So on some level, you're probably judge yourself based on adoption, consumption, and usage. So that's a somewhat of a signal of, okay, they're at least consuming it. It might not have stuck.
100%. I mean, at the end of the day, with compliance training, it's 100% completion.
Right.
But if I could probably take a compliance course today, and if you literally said, I'm going to put you in a room for 100 years if you can't tell me what you learned, you're going to stick me in the room.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to remember what I just learned.
No, you'll learn it enough for the test.
Exactly.
And then after the test,
and barely even that, to be honest with you. In today's environment, people will take the test, they won't pass it, and they'll just take it again until they do.
What do you think about testing? like certification or even just at the end to understand, did they get it? I mean, they consumed it, but did they get it?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think it varies based on topic. At the end of the day, I mean, there's some topics that it's going to be hard for someone to just remember all the key details of all these very particular things and bullet points. But then there's things, especially when you think about soft skills, that you want to kind of understand whether or not they've got that concept down.
Right. This is funny. So both my sons are in Boy Scouts. I'm in Boy Scouts. And every year you have to do YPT, youth protection training. And so this is a funny bit. So every year I, as an adult, have to go through this certification. And so I go into the system and it's kind of antiquated. And I'm not really paying attention as well. I'm listening to Spotify. I'm, got other stuff going on. And I click the icon and it's the test. So I'm like, okay. So I just went through the test, got a 90%, didn't get 100%, got 90%. And then I had to go back and watch all the videos that led to the test. I'm like, I already took the test. I already got a 90.
They still make you go through the
They still had to go through the thing. So it's like, in that one, it would, in a smart system, it would have realized you've already tested out.
Right.
You're good. Push forward. Do the next thing, whatever that may be.
And that's what, to me, when I think about assessing, what is it that we're trying to assess at the end of the day? And I think with our immersive programs, whether it's VR or AI or what we're doing with system sandboxes, the data that we're able to get from those practices is so much more valuable than did you pass the quiz?
Right.
Because now I can see, well, why did this person made this decision? Or, 50% of our people are making this choice. Why?
Right. But so let's dig into that a little bit. So the data behind the learning is not just pass fail. Correct. Or, this 25% of the company passed, 25 didn't do so well. Are you relating that to performance? Or how are you actually looking at that data? What's that driving decision, succession planning, the whole bit? Yeah.
I mean, there's multiple ways to look at the information. I mean, primarily being in the learning space where I am, what I have my team looking at is, okay, well, now that we have all of this information from all of these immersive practices, where should we be building next? Because all this data is now telling us where the skill gaps are. Where before we were just like, all right, they got 80%, so they're good.
I think.
Right. So, but now I'm like, hey, they're struggling with this part of the conversation with a client.
Right.
So now we're going to build supplementary materials for that or an immersive practice just on that.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
Their leaders now know where to focus their attention.
Right.
Where before it's like, all right, let's do a team meeting. I'm going to teach everybody everything. Now we can be targeted in our coaching. And so it's helping us focus and not boil the ocean.
This is like web analytics used to be, is you build your website, after 6 months or so, you go back and look at the analytics, and the analytics tells you people are going to this page, do more there.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a heat map.
100%. I mean, we built a virtual reality training for bank robberies. It's probably our most popular module because
I'd like to take
it.
I'd like to take it.
Oh my gosh, this is cool. I mean, I want to go do this. But it helped people understand making decisions quickly in the moment.
Right.
Because again, if you think about traditionally how we teach people how to deal with a bank robbery today, it's watch this video, take a web-based training maybe and answer these questions.
Yeah.
All right, now you're ready to go get robbed.
All right. So what does that look? What is that training? Is it like, as you're saying, I'm picturing like wearing a VR headset and I have a gun like Duck Hunt. Remember Duck Hunt from Nintendo?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm shooting the bad guys that pop up versus not, kind of like you see on the detective trainings and stuff, CIA training, stuff like that. What's a bank robbery training?
Yeah. And we were very mindful of how we were going to build this because the one thing we didn't want to do was to create a traumatic event virtually,
right.
Especially for people that have been through it before.
100%.
Because quite honestly, there could be PTSD there and a whole host of things. And so what we do is once you put on that headset, you are standing behind the teller line and you're taking clients. Clients are coming up, doing normal transactions. And then at some point, a robbery attempt happens.
Right.
And then that's when you're essentially on the clock and you have to start making decisions because the robber is expecting you to do something.
Sorry.
Right.
And so now what's your choice? Is
Yeah.
it, oh, I'm going to press the button, or, oh, I'm going to go call 911, or, oh, I'm going to run to the back, or what are you going to do?
Right.
And that's the information that we want to know.
Right.
And so that's what it's helped us just understand. Okay, this is the logical choice most people are making. Let's help them understand what the right choice is if they're not making the right one.
Right.
Because if they make a mistake in the real world, that could be their life or somebody else's.
Sure.
That's right.
So I want them to make that mistake in VR all day long.
100%. 100%. I think the hardest thing in that scenario, if you will, is to remain calm.
Right.
Is to actually slow down. What are you asking for? Absolutely not a problem. Like, just take your blood pressure down. It's so counterintuitive. It's like, and then everybody thinks that they would do the right thing until you're thrown into that situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Car accident in front of you. Do you run towards it and get the baby in the back?
Right.
We all think that we would do it, but by and large, you freeze, and you freeze can lead to not a great experience
100%.
or death.
And then take robbery out of the equation, and now let's just talk about a client interaction.
Yeah,
where it's getting tense.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
I don't understand. I've got this. Blah 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 blah.
I'm going to start recording this on my phone and posting this on TikTok. Well, what do you do now in that situation?
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like the videos you have of people doing the videos of like the police officers.
Oh yeah.
Give me this. Give me that. Like
I can't see it. I've got friends that are police officers. I can't imagine being a police officer in this day and age.
No,
exactly.
Everyone's pulling out their phones the whole time. It's like, I'm doing the right things, but then you're second guessing yourself the entire time.
And
am I really doing the right things? And then you're not paying attention.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're truly trying to teach de-escalation.
Right.
Right. Versus just telling you with bullet points, stay calm. You know, here's this process and this procedure.
Yeah.
It has to be more than that, because when that is happening to you, you don't remember web-based training number 50.
Not at all.
And whatever was on that page.
No.
So how are these trainings created?
That's great.
Because I can remember, 15, 20 years ago, we're creating training, talking recruiting, but I'm creating. I'm completely biased. It's only what I care and know about. And I put it into a PowerPoint and we go and present it. How are these VR trainings, like bank robberies, things like this, customer service, how are they created for Bank of America? Are you creating them internally? Are they done externally?
It's
You
a great
bring them in?
It's both. So we do partner with a vendor to build them. But when we first started VR, I was the VR team, essentially. And so I was the subject matter expert.
Did you hate your manager?
I literally was just like, all right. And honestly, it was the worst VR training we ever deployed because it was the first one I ever did.
Yeah.
Right.
But essentially the way it works is we partner with the different teams within the bank and we find out what the problems or opportunities that we want to address are. And then we try to understand what the root cause is, because typically people will come to us and say, oh, we just want a VR training. Well, no, what are you trying to solve?
What's the outcome?
And so once we know what we're trying to solve, then that's when we'll build the outline. We'll literally write it. Then we create the storyboard. Then a script is created. And then that's when we partner with the vendor and we go film it with real actors and real people. And we're on a, quote unquote set to make it real.
Oh, that's cool.
So you're actually filming it.
Oh, yeah, with real people. And we do it in our financial centers so that it's literally the same environment.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really
signage. Cool. They see everything. It's
the goal was to make it as real as you can possibly make it. Because I told you when I started, I didn't feel like it was real. And so it was my mission to make it real.
Oh, so this is actually a big invest. I for whatever reason, I thought it was just, it's VR. It's done by a house somewhere, like in a
virtual environment.
Yeah. And it's just done. Like you're actually.
We control every aspect of it. When I've been on set and they've recorded a scene, I'm like, no, we got to do it again. I don't like the way it sounded. It sounded too scripted.
Yeah.
Let's change this word. I mean, it's almost like being on a movie set.
Yeah. So with the add producer to his title.
Yes.
That is so awesome.
This is really, this is, the more we dig in, this is
very cool.
Pretty bad.
Where do you, last question for me, where do you get your inspiration?
Oh, that's a really great question. I mean,
occasionally that battery runs dry.
I mean, honestly, it comes from the learners themselves, because in me having conversations with them, I'm just trying to figure out where are they struggling? What do you need help with? And when they're able to tell me, oh, we can't figure this out, or this is confusing, then that gets me jazzed up. Got it. Now I'm going to go back to my team and we're going to go try to fix that for you.
Wow.
Love it. You got anything?
I've got nothing else, man. This has been a fantastic show. We
Seriously, Mike. Absolutely wonderful.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming by, taking your time out. Know that you're crazy busy with everything, but thank you so much.
Had a lot of fun.
I do have a request.
I
think someone here can make it happen.
Are you trying to get a gift card or something?
No. A gift card to your vault, please.
Dude's not walking around with gift cards, so leave him alone.
How do we get a bank robbery VR assessment training?
Oh,
I want to try this.
I don't know if I can show it to you just because of safety protocols, right? Because we can't really show people our procedures.
Fair.
Things of that nature.
Because ISIS would then.
I mean, listen, I can't have the robbers figuring out how to rob us.
That's exactly what they do. No, seriously, that's exactly what they do.
All right.
They just reverse engineer how you're training.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Got to shoot your shot.
So some secrets are kept in the vault.
There we go.
As they should be.
All right, I'll go for the gift card.
There you go.
All righty. And we are out. Thank you.
We're out.
Thank you.